Okay, y'all, so I know I did a video yesterday about how I was just off all day. Or did I do that this video this morning? I don't remember. I did a video in the last 24 hours about just being off and feeling frustrated and grumpy. And I took a nap and I woke up even grumpier. And today wasn't great. I mean, my kiddo had a great program with his church club and he did a really good job and I was super proud of him, but I was just not feeling great. I was feeling short-fused and irritable and quick to be offended and super frustrated and just not myself. And my husband's like, what is like this morning, what is your deal? And what's wrong with you? And I was like, I don't know what the deal is. And this afternoon we were talking, intensely discussing some stuff. And he happened to mention, just like in passing, 1 year ago today is the day you started throwing up after chemo. And I stopped. And I burst into tears and I just started crying all my makeup off. I'm amazed it didn't smear all over the place because I have not put anything back on. And I realized it was just like this instant knowing that's it. That's why I've been off yesterday and today, because there's not been any big reason for it. That's why I've been off, because 1 year ago today, I had just had chemo for a few days and it was really kicking in and I started throwing my guts up. And 1 year ago today was when I wanted to die. I've never wanted that before. And I don't mean in a suicidal way. I don't mean in a self-harm way. I mean, just if I'm going to have this much pain from the cancer and this much nausea from the medicine, I suddenly understood why people just say to the doctors, just give me medicine and let me go home and die because I don't want to go through the treatment. And suddenly I had so much empathy for those people and understanding of why someone might make that choice, because I literally just thought dying would be better than finishing the course of treatment. And at that point, I was absolutely terrified to go back for another round, and I had 5 more rounds ahead of me, and I was just like, if I'm gonna feel like this the whole time, I would rather just die. And the only thing keeping me fighting was my family. The reason I'm sharing that is because trauma anniversaries are a real thing. They are very real. And my experience today, and just bursting into tears when my husband reminded me that 1 year ago today was when that kicked in for you. My experience today is just reinforcement of what I already know cognitively, and that is that our body very often remembers what our brain has forgotten. And I know of so many times that I've worked with different people and they're just having a terrible day or a terrible week, and then suddenly it dawns on them, oh my goodness, this time last year, this is the week my mother died, or this is the week I escaped from domestic violence, or this is the week that this is the day I was sexually assaulted, or this is the anniversary of some huge traumatic event. Or even if the outsider wouldn't think it was huge to you, some impactful event, and your body remembers, even if your brain forgot the date. So next time you are having a really off day or week, it's a really good idea to go ahead and ask yourself, kind of flip back in the calendar of your mind, what have I experienced in the past? What has happened to me before that might be a trauma anniversary that I'm experiencing right now? What is my body remembering that my brain has forgotten about? And when those things come to you and you realize it and you remember it, put it in your calendar for next year. That's what I'm going to do when I get done with this video. I'm going to put it in probably a couple of days ahead of time for next year, so that next year I have a heads up. And that gives me the opportunity a few days in advance next year to be like, oh yeah, 2 years ago today, this was happening to me, and I should probably give myself some extra grace. I should probably cut out my afternoon's appointments and go take a hot bath on that day, or take my kids to the park and go walk in the sunshine on that day, or do something else that is kind, compassionate to myself, and give myself permission, and maybe give my family a heads up. You know what? This is what happened a couple years ago today. It's an anniversary of that. I'm a little raw and edgy, and I'll get over it. I'll be fine, but it's going to be a rough day or two. So things that you can do to help with trauma anniversaries are: one, first map them out. Here's me mapping mine out. This is a new one to add to my calendar. Second, put them in the calendar. Third, give yourself some grace. Fourth, get with a good trauma therapist, get with a coach, get with somebody who can work with you through your trauma. And 5, give yourself as much kindness and understanding as you would give a BFF or your bestie if they realized that it was their anniversary of something horrific that had happened to them. Give yourself that same kind of understanding. All right, if you have trauma anniversary ideas or ways that you deal with yours, drop them in the comments. Let's share. Create a mind hive here. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna go back and hang out with my family for a while. Y'all go ahead and share your ways to help deal with when the body remembers and the brain forgot, and you'll have fun in the comments. I'll check them in later. All right. Have a good afternoon, you guys.